Shalom. I want to start off by saying Kal Halal Yamla, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham Reka Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us the truth and who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the Akim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Kotazab Zion from the GMS Holland branch, coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai with another lesson, with another video, and Lord willing, this video is edifying. God, so in this lesson, I want to go into a prayer of Psalms 119. So let me go to Psalms 119, verse 123, and it reads, let me see. Well, let me start at 121 and read until 128. So this is Psalms 119, verse 121. I have done judgment and justice. Leave me not to mine oppressors. Be surety for thy servant for good. Let not the proud oppress me. Mine eyes fail for thy salvation, and for the word of thy righteousness. Deal with thy servant according unto thy mercy, and teach me thy statutes. I am thy servant. Give me understanding, that I may know thy testimonies. It is time for thee, Yahweh, to work, for they have made void thy law. Therefore I love thy commandments above gold, yea, above fine gold. Therefore I esteem all thy precepts concerning all things to be right, and I hate every false way. Gone. And this is basically the mentality that all the servants, the prophets, have right now. You know, we are doing the judgment and justice of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai amongst ourselves, you know, because we are of the elect, because we read about the elect, that they are going to be the best of the best of the flock, the tower of the flock, you know, as the scriptures calls them. And we hope that we are those men, you know, that we apply judgments and the justice of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, you know, to keep the body clean, to keep the body healthy, to keep everything going and running, you see. Leave me not for my oppressors. And who are our oppressors? The so-called white men, you know, the white people. They are our oppressors. It starts with Edom, Adawam, which that stands for red, you know. Edom is his biblical name, the so-called white people. And they are our oppressors. They are they're leading it, you know, like it says in the book of Psalms. I'm already in the book of Psalms, but let me see. God, this is Psalms 83, verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. You see, so all these nations are confederate. They gathered together to come against the Most High. That's why, for example, the book of Nahum 1 speaks about the enemies of the Most High. Those are just mere people, mere vessels. You know, they are not a God. When you think about the enemy of the Most High, of a spiritual being, then you would automatically think like it's okay, somebody of his own caliber. No, it's even these low lives, you know, that these people that are created, they are the enemies of the Most High, because they are confederate against the Most High. They gather together, and then they plot how to keep the nation of Israel, which are the chosen people of the Most High, to keep them down. How can they forward their kingdom? You know, by making abominations okay in the sight of people. Let me go to the book of Proverbs. Proverbs 29, verse 27. An unjust man is an abomination to the just. You see, so the so-called white men, the ones that are doing abominable things, coming with the Skittle Gang agenda, coming with unrighteous dealings, they are an abomination to the just, which are us, the men that are trying their best to keep the ways of the Most High. And what does it say? And he that is upright in the way is abomination to the wicked. So we, by just existing, we are an abomination also to the wicked. They don't like us. We are straight contrary to them, like it says in the book of Wisdom of Solomon. So going back to Psalms 83, verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom, you see, it starts off with Edom, the so-called white man, and the Ishmaelites, which are the Arabs, of Moab, the Chinese, and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon, which are the Japanese, and Amalek, which is the chief tribe of Edom. So Edom is mentioned 2 times. The Philistines, which are the Hamites, and the inhabitants of Tyre, also Hamites. Asher also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot, Selah. So they are all coming together. They are all in cahoots against the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's how they make themselves an enemy of the Most High. Those are our oppressors, like we're reading about. Be sure for thy servant, be surety for thy servant for good. Let not the proud oppress me. Mine eyes shall fail, Salakia, my eyes fail for thy salvation and for the word of thy righteousness. So let me see what it says in the Amplified Bible. My eyes fail with longing, watching for the fulfillment of your salvation and for the fulfillment of your righteous word. God. So we are longing for the salvation of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which we already know what that's going to be. That's the day of judgment, the dark and gloomy day that Yahushai is going to return. So that's why what our eyes are failing for to see. You see? And this is the part that I actually translated, But let me go to other precept. Also the book of Psalms. Psalms 69. Psalm 69 verse 3. And this is a psalm of David. And what do we need? We need the sure mercies of David. Because King David is the beloved of the Most High. And he's going to reign in the kingdom of heaven. And the Most High, he's setting up the tabernacles of David. The tents of King David. King David's his men. That's what he's setting up. So we also walk in the footsteps of King David, Or let me say it better. We're walking in the footsteps of Yahushai, but we still need the mercies of King David, because King David, he committed sins that were worthy unto death. He committed adultery, and he sent a man to get killed in the front line, of battle. So let me read it. This is Psalm 61, verse 1. Save me, O Yahweh, for the waters are come in unto my soul. I sink in deep mire, where there is no standing. I am come into deep waters, where the floods overflow me. I am weary of my crying. My throat is dried. My eyes fail while I wait for my power. You see, so even King David was longing to see the salvation of the Most High, and not the same like how we are expecting it, but the Most High also saved him in that time. How? Through prayer. By him praying to the Most High heard him and came into action. The Most High, he wants you to pray. The Most High wants to hear your cries. The Most High wants you to want salvation. He's not automatically going to give it to you. You have to prove that you're worthy. Prove it by your works. Pray to the Most High, which the word pray means to make supplication and to beg. to plead to the Most High. And that's what we're doing because of the situation that we're in. Our oppressors and our enemies are above us. So this is the book of Isaiah 83, verse 14. Like a crane or a swallow, so did I chatter. I did mourn as a dove. Mine eyes fill with looking upward. O Yahweh, I am oppressed. Undertake for me. Oh, this is also a beautiful one to translate. Maybe I'm going to put it in the description box also, so that you have basically two prayers in one. But this is also beautiful, So just like a crane and a swallow, they constantly yap, when they're in a dangerous situation, in a dire situation. That's also how we are crying unto the Most High. Just like I always said, the Most High wants you to pray. The Most High wants to hear your voice. He wants to know that you sincerely want it. And also it says, I did mourn as a dove. A dove, when he loses his partner, then they go into mourning. And we are also mourning right now. Because why? We don't have the bridegroom. We are the bride, but we don't have the bridegroom. So we are mourning for the bridegroom, waiting on that moment. You see? Mine eyes fill with looking upward. O Yahweh, I am oppressed. Undertake for me. So we want the Most High to bring back his beautiful works, to save us, just like how he did at the time of Egypt, when he saved us from the Pharaoh. And who's the modern day Pharaoh? The so-called white man. Esau, Edom, Just like it says in Jeremiah 16 and 14, the Most High is going to cause us to exit out of this captivity also, but in a greater fashion, you see. Let me go to Lamentation 3, verse 26. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of Yahweh Bashem El Shai. You see, so it's good that we quietly wait and hope that Yahweh Bashem El Shai is going to bring forth his judgment. We already read about it. We know that it's true. We know it's going to happen. But like it says in the book of Habakkuk, though it tarry, wait for it. It will surely come. The vision is yet for an appointed time. And what is the ultimate vision? The ultimate vision is when Yahweh Shai comes. See, so we are quietly waiting. We are patient, because what does patience go into? Patience goes into long suffering. So we are suffering while we wait. But that's also to prove you and to refine you until the day that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai comes. Going back to Psalms 119, the last precept, and then we're going to get the prayer. Psalms 119, verse 160. And it says, Thy word is true from the beginning, and every one of thy righteous judgments endure forever. You see, so the Most High doesn't change. The Most High isn't with the shadow of turning. Like the scripture says, the Most High, he sent his word out and is going to accomplish what he said it's going to do. But it takes time, Like it also says in the book of 2nd Ezra, he doesn't move nor stir them. That everything is set for an appointed time. And when one bucket is full, then it overflows into the next bucket. It has a certain way of unfolding. And the Most High can't give Habakkuk the vision that is going to happen in such a manner, and then in the end, the Most High switches it up. No. Otherwise, his first word that he said from the beginning unto, for example, Habakkuk, it would change. It wouldn't be the same. But like we are reading, the word is true from the beginning. Thy word is true from the beginning, and every one of thy righteous judgments endure forever. Also, like it says in the book of Isaiah 10. Let me grab that. And then we go back to the psalm. the judgments of the Most High. Isaiah 10 and 22. For thy people Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness. So the people of the Most High, they're like the sand of the sea, but the consumption that is decreed, the thing that is going to happen, the judgment that is going to come forth, because Yahushua is going to come to consume these people, and also the two-third minded people of our nation that are wicked, that are joined hand in hand with Esau and the other nations, they're also going to be consumed. So the consumption, the creed shall overflow with righteousness. It might look wicked, it might look evil what the Most High is doing, but it's not. It's full of righteousness, because these people are not fit for the kingdom of heaven to see it in the first come around. They're going to see it in the second come around as nutsack Israelites, you know. So let me see what it says in the Amplified Bible. For though your people, O Israel, may be as the sand of the sea, only a remnant within them will return. The destruction is determined, it is decided and destined for completion, overflowing with justice, righteous punishment. You see, it's righteous punishment that the Most High is going to bring forth. So to go back, let me go to the prayer, which is Psalms 119, prayer for salvation and the righteous words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, the righteous judgment. So it says, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, Kalwa Ayanya La Ya Shawaitka Wa Lamarat Tazadaka. So now with the understanding, Yahweh, Yah is He, Hawa comes from Haya, which is to be or to exist. Ba Hashem, Ba is in, Ha is the, Sham is name, Yahweh Shai, Yah is He, Hawa Shai means salvation or deliver. Kalwa is fail. Ayanya, Ayan is I, and the Yah in the end makes it my eyes. La Yashawaitka, La is for, and Yashawai is salvation, and the Ka in the end makes it thy salvation. Wa Lamarat, Wa is and, Lamarat is word, and Tazadak is righteousness, and the Ka in the end makes it thy righteousness. So this is a prayer that you can send up to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, that you are praying and longing for the salvation that the Most High is going to send, which is His Son. You know, you pray for that dreadful day, which is going to be dreadful for these heathen and the wicked of our people, but it's going to be of salvation unto us. You know, we yearn for that day, and that the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai shall be applied here upon earth. You know, the righteous judgments, that we might be those officers and judges and kings here upon earth to apply the righteous words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So this is a quick prayer that you can send up to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai to hasten the times and to show your, your longing for the salvation of the Most High. You see? So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us the truth and who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the Akim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.